Good morning and welcome back to Video Dower and the Farm. A Saturday morning, but it's not a sunny Saturday morning like the last two. It's actually showering with rain at the minute. Turn that round. See, it's on the windscreen. There you go. Anyway, but not to complain. We're not as bad as some parts of the country anyway, but it's frustrating because we sort of get 2 or 3 days drilling and then we get a bit of rain, a good bit of rain, and then we're parked up for a few days letting it soak and dry. But anyway, we're getting on. But when it does actually rain, we're getting on with a few jobs. We started doing some ditching end of last week, so I'll show you that. And there was a long reach weeding bucket in doing a bit of the dike, so we've got some drone footage of that. And yeah, we got a chance to modify the drill a bit more, put a bit of a modification on. Turn that wind wiper off, on my nerves. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully we're plodding on with drilling. That's getting going, and well, all being well, we'll get 2 drills going because I'm getting caught up now. I've got all the roundup on, the stubbles and stale seed beds, so yeah, hopefully we'll get the other drill going and we'll crack on and get a good bit done this week, weather permitting. Anyway, I'll see you at the end. Well, I think that's about done us for today. Yeah, it's definitely raining out now, but anyway, all's another day. Look on the positive side. Yeah, update on the tyres on George's tractor. We had another new one fitted. When they took that one, this one off, it had 5 slits inside. It was only a matter of days away before it would have actually blown. So yeah, we had another one fitted and another claim. So yeah, it'll stand him in good stead now. It's only just been put on. It's been inflated to 50 psi to seat the beads, which is important because you don't want them spinning on the rims. So yeah, it's had a few overnight and that at that pressure, so it can be let down now and ready for work. Yep, looks smart now. 2 new tyres on it. Well, we're just waiting for it to dry a bit, the land, after we've had a bit of rain. We're not drilling today or spraying, it's too windy as well. We just started our annual ditch maintenance programme. We're just going along, not really taking a lot out of some of these ditches, but just taking any of the foliage out, what's growing in it, any of the greenery that's restricting the flow. Because yeah, it is important to have good ditch maintenance to keep the water flowing, as last year it was horrendous water coming down them, so we need to ensure that water can get away quickly. Yeah, apologies for the rocking. I'm just tracking down the ditch to start, but I'm just off on another job though in a minute. Got an emergency call. Yeah, this is what we're taking out, any greenery like that, what's blocking the dike up. It's just restricting the flow of water. Yeah, it's quite bad in places. I didn't get much diking done before I was called away to assist on another job. This is a shared dike between us and another local farmer, and we have it done out once a year by a contractor with a proper weeding bucket, by which I mean it's got hydraulic knife on it, well, fingers and a knife, just like a combine's knife, but really heavy duty, and it undercuts the reeds and rushes, and then they can be scooped out the bottom of the dike and put on the bank. the weeding bucket is 6 metres wide, so as you can imagine he isn't long covering some ground with it, and he's soon making short work of this particular dike. The machine being used is a 21-ton Komatsu with a extension on the dipper arm, which gives it a tremendous reach, so it's very handy when he's doing drains and large water courses. He can stretch across them. So yeah, and I believe it's homemade, so he's done a good job there, and yeah, it's just the job. If you look carefully, you can see the hydraulic knife working on the weeding bucket. We are down Roxby Cars, and in the background you can see one of our Kansas fields. Right, well, my part in getting this ditch running freely is to take the bank back here. As you maybe saw from a bit of the drone footage, it curves. There was an old bridge in here, so I'm digging it wider from there, and I'm going to take a straight line straight line and mate up with this the rest of the ditch here. And there's some old pipes underneath here. Well, they're coming out, and yeah, then water will drop a bit because that's deeper there than what it is dug out here. You can't really see, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's my job now, to do this little bit of end piece. Another pipe inside it. The pressure was too much. That one it disintegrated. See if we can get this one out without breaking it. The bottom's dropped off it. I think what they've done is put a bit of pipe in because of the bottom. I don't know. Well, there we are. Job finished. It's as deep, or it's deeper than it was, so water actually is now flowing out the channel. You can see it moving. Where before it wasn't, so that's good that the water level is dropping in that dike. That pipe now, it's out the water. It was level with it, so it's dropped a good lot of water. Yeah, nice tidy ditch now. We're just on with doing another modification on the combi drill. It came minus some rear steps, so it's a long way from here up onto the deck for calibration and that. You could slip. So we're just making some to make it safe. So these will be lifted up level like that, and then there's going to be another one halfway up, and then yeah, it'd be safe then. It's cheaper than buying a pair for it anyway. It's finding the right set because it's fairly, with it being nearly 10-year-old the drill, it's finding some steps to fit it. So anyway, we're soon knocking some up. It'll be cheaper as well, and the weather isn't too good outside, so yeah, we've got puddles. You get the idea now. Still the drill's up in the air, so it does look high, but yeah, it's something to stand on to get you off the back of the drill without getting entangled in the harrows. So yeah, I'm just going to weld them bits on there to there and that, and then yeah, that'll look good. That, get some paint on it, job's a good one. There we are, the steps are now finished, got some paint on them. Yeah, just helps getting up to onto the drill there, onto that platform. Job's a good one. Room under the harrows there to lift up. So yeah, it's a lot safer now. Right, we're just going in to have a look at this seed eye on George's Vaderstad drill. He's going to explain to me, or us anyway, how it works. Right, George has got the iPad and e-services fitted to his machine, so everything on the drill is controlled by the iPad, isn't it, George?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Even down to folding the wings, nothing is on the spools.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, George is going to run through the screen on it now.
This counter is to tell you how many hectares you've done. Obviously it's counting up as you go in. but you can click on that and flick through if you want to save one field and also multiple your day's work.
Yeah.
You can keep all that. And also it has an extra one if you punch in the bag weight into this, which goes into more detail, which is a 1, 2, 3 and the counter. If I punch in there, tell it I've got a ton in, or whatever you want to put in,
whatever you put
confirming, it'll work out how many hectares you've got in and how long you'll be doing it at the forward speed you're doing at the time of obviously in-field work.
That's brilliant. That it gives you an idea when to tell Dave to come and fill you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then obviously that counters your forward speed.
Yeah.
And then you can also press that and it'll tell you your depth.
Right. Yeah.
So when you want to alter your depth, you have to press the disc and the coulter. It won't light up because we're not turned on. Press that and that'll tell you what depth you're at. And then you can alter it and then turn it back off once you've set
That's
your
good
depth.
then. So your seed adjustment depths, it's all on all on the button. Electronic.
And then obviously that just does your fan speed.
Yeah.
That's your tram lines, your bout lines.
Yeah, the rhythm.
Your rhythm. And then obviously this is your markers, whichever one you want to set. Just press it and it'll come green.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
So that when you start a field,
when I start a field, tram line. Right, that button is to ream seed out. So when you want to prime to get the seed through when you first go into a field.
Yeah.
That is so your markers keep swapping over at each end. So you've got to turn that on, otherwise it'll keep putting the same marker out.
Right, yeah.
That one is to stop your drill lifting up when you're in work. If you've got a marker down and you get to a telegraph pole or something like that and you want to lift your marker up to swerve around it with the drill still in work, you'll press that to stop the drill lifting up.
Yeah.
And then obviously turn it back off once you've got round. That's telling you it won't lift the drill up. That's half lift if you just want to run the drill so it's lifting half the height when you're turning on the headland. And then that
is the theory behind that then, so it sets in quicker and your seed gets through the pipes quicker then.
Yeah, it's closer to the floor.
To the ground.
Yeah, definitely, And then obviously this is your marching on, so it keeps counting up your bout markers, so it goes 1, 2, 3, And then obviously that, as I've explained, that's your depth.
Yeah.
And then that's your rear working lights on your tank if it's dark, if you're running in the dark. And then this one, as you can see, left and right, obviously I've got half shut off, 3 metre shut off on this because it's 6 metre. If that's obviously highlighted like that, that means you're seeding. If it's obviously not highlighted green, it won't seed that half of the drill.
Right,
and vice versa.
Because it's full section control, isn't it, via GPS?
Yeah, I've got it on my section control of the tractor as well, you see. That's good. So that's the home screen.
Yeah.
And then this, where it's highlighted, notes, tells you if you've got any error codes come up.
Right.
So like now it's telling us that low seed level both sides, which obviously we haven't got any seed in the hopper.
Yeah.
So if you ever have that come up with a problem, obviously check it and clear it once you've sorted it.
The piece to the resistance on this drill is obviously the seed eye.
Yes. As you can see at the minute we've got it set seeds per square metre. It isn't highlighted up a rate because we're not in work. But basically with that, I'll go into it and show you.
Yeah, because this is really interesting, I thought. Anyway,
right. So when you want to start drilling with this,
yeah.
if you know your seeds per square metre, go into obviously your settings, then press seed, and then it's asking you if you want to put a new calibration factor in, which you do, yes. And then it's telling you what your scale should be set at, your barrel, sorry, for your feed rollers, which is 80.
General setting.
And then obviously you'll select what type of crop you want to be drilling. You've got to make sure you're on the right one, otherwise obviously it won't calibrate properly, which we are on wheat. And then you just punch in here how many seeds per square metre you want. So we are on 400, enter. And then that is literally it. That is all you do.
So you don't, like a conventional drill, you'd have to barrel some through your meter and unit and weight, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And have to put a figure into the computer for it to work out how fast the rotor needs to go to achieve the kilograms per hectare.
Kilograms per hectare.
But this is purely based on the seeds.
Yeah, because all the time with this drill, when you're running seed eye and blockage monitoring, the drill is calibrating all the time for the varying size in grain.
Yeah.
And it can monitor 200 seeds a second.
That's a hell of a rate, isn't it? So it's counting every seed, what passes through it, up to 200 seeds a second.
Through the sensors, and I'll show you the sensors in a minute.
Yeah, that's some going, that. Yeah.
So, and obviously you can gather, if you don't know how to convert the seed rate for whatever reason, there is an onboard calculator. So just go on there and you put in obviously all your data of what you've got, your 1,000 grain weight, your germination percent, and if you punch them in, then it will obviously give you the figures.
Yeah.
So and obviously it'll do the same if you want it in kilograms. Just swap it over what we want it in.
That's brilliant, that. Yeah.
Right, but once you punch it in, it does come up with your figures.
Yeah, your target.
Rate.
What it will be kilograms hectare, which is handy. Yeah. Then you know how much you're using, or roughly to finish a field off. And
I'll put a rough one in so you can see it. 400 and then 1,000 grain weight. We'll put 54. Germination 98, and then that's telling you what your target rate is. That's showing you basically all I've showed you.
220 kilograms hectare.
Yeah, it's just worked it out for you basically. As long as you put the correct figures in there, it does all the calibrating and everything for you.
Yeah, well, this is fascinating. It's like the next level. This is getting on to going up from cranking it and working out your seed rate to the volumetric calibrations, where you just keep winding so much in the bag and weigh it and then enter that figure. Now we're on to this. It's
But to be honest, as long as you've worked all of it out, you don't need to touch any of this. You just literally go into your rate and put 400 seeds. And if you was in kilos, that would come up with kilograms per hectare instead of seeds per square metre. And then just punch in 200 and it calibrates itself all the time, because it's always calibrating as you're going.
That's brilliant, that. Thanks, George. So,
we're going to have a look at increment setup size. You can alter your increments. I just leave it at 5%. Handy.
So you say there's some sensors in the hopper?
I can show you the sensors in the hopper.
Right, well, this is a view into the hopper. So it's got two seed heads, obviously, one there each. She's doing 3 meters at a time, each section. And then
obviously these are your coulter sensors.
Right,
And obviously when it's green, it tells you it's flowing. If that goes red, it means it's blocked.
Oh, right,
And obviously these coulter sensors send information back to the seed eye.
Where's that? Oh, sorry. Oh, that little box, to
the seed eye. Which obviously sends the data back to the iPad to vary the rate as you're going forward. And it is as simple as that.
Yeah.
Fantastic piece of kit. And if you ever have to get into the hopper to clean it out, which I have to do quite regular. On these new ones like this, you press that button.
It tilts it out of the way, and then you've got your steps to get in. That's brilliant. Spot on. Anyway, thank you very much, George. That's explained it. Thank you.
If you ever have one blocked.
George is just showing, if you have one blocked, all you do is unpin that there, clip it, and then you can get access to the blockage.
Or if it's coming up with any like dust, you are advised to run with the hopper shut, so you don't get dust, because obviously dust will slow the seed rate down. Just get it out, and they do supply you with a brush. You just literally just push that in, and job done. Then clip it back together. So.
So they're expensive, them little seed eye monitors. Thank you. Here's Derek with a Challenger and Culti press, working some land up in front of George. We haven't worked too much up this year, because with it being so wet, it's been better to get it when it's just straight in with the drill. That's another field done. But to be honest, it's fairly damp still. It's moist when you look at it. But George can get on a lot faster drilling when it's been worked for him, when it's firmer. but it's working down all right. Yeah, it's finished, but yeah, it's fairly sticky. You can see it's on the press there. It's fairly sticky, that is. The job's are good and Derek's finished. Well, we've got the other drill out, so now we're running 2 drills. We've got the combi drill on. You can see it's going down nicely. Yeah, like I said, we've actually got caught up with the spraying just about, so we thought we'd get 2 drills running with catchy weather, but this is only on light sand. But yesterday we had 7 mil of rain, so it made it a little bit stickier, but I'm working on to some stronger land, so it should be a bit drier when I get to it, all being well. Yeah, it's winter barley I'm drilling. What's it going on at? 220 kilos hectare, and yeah, this is Bolton seed barley. As you can see, the soil type in this field is very sandy. It's our last field of winter barley to be drilled, and time's getting on, so it needs to be in. We don't tram line with this drill. I put the tram lines in later with a sprayer. On this 724 we run Michelin Axio Bib 2 tyres, which are a really good tyre because you can have lower pressures in them and still have a high load bearing capacity. We're only running 14 psi in the rear tyres, and that's very low compared with the standard tyre with the amount of weight what it's lifting, especially since a combi drill weighs a lot, especially with a ton of seed in the hopper, and you get reduced ground compaction with running them lower pressures as well as a smoother ride. Well, it's a bit of a damp morning this morning. We had some overnight rain which has temporarily suspended the drilling, but we're in a good position because we've had obviously 2 drills running, and yeah, when you're drilling 150 acre plus a day, yeah, you soon get a bit done with 2 drills. Yeah, anyway, we've only got 1 field left here to drill at Risby, and then there's about 100 acres left to drill at Melton. But but a lot of that is after maize, and they haven't got it all shifted yet, so that'll just be a little bit longer getting that sorted. But yeah, so that's it for this week's edition of Video Diary on the Farm. Hope you enjoyed the content, and if you have, as always, please hit that like, share and subscribe, especially the subscribe button, because that counts. That's good. We want you to subscribe, please. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again next week.